Friends, an unexpected visit to Sephora led me to purchase, like it was Sephora's fault, the new shade from the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder line, 5.5. I originally had 6, which is tan, or for tan skin with olive undertones, and although it worked for me more or less, because what's extraordinary about the Blurring Balm Powder is that it is flexible across the shade range. It's not a high coverage product, although you can build up the coverage to be around medium. You could get away with not a perfect match, but it's still being good enough. For me, 5 was a little too light and 6 was, although it works out because I wore it for a long time, but I had to toss it because it was well beyond its suggested shelf life. It was a little toasty on me, and when I found out that 5.5 was added to the lineup, I wanted to pick it up, which I did. In addition, I picked up 2 blushes, both of which you can check out on a recent short I uploaded, just quick swatches and a demo showing Urban Decay's, well, this is a long name, let me pull it up, Face Bond Long Lasting Blush Suede in Situationship, a brick terracotta, it's right up my alley, and the Yves Saint Laurent Make Me Blush 24 Hour Something Something, another long title, in Rose Haze, which is a soft pink nude. And Rose Haze was recently added to the YSL lineup in the States. It was available overseas, I believe in Europe and Asia, in addition to Coral Crush and Nocturnal Nude. Coral Crush is now available on the YSL US site, and we're still waiting for Nocturnal Nude, but happy to actually get my hands on Rose Haze because this flew off the shelves during the Sephora spring sale event back in April. But it's okay. We can get a discount later in the year. So I wanted in this video just to show you the Danessa Blurring Balm in 5.5, the blushes again, and a few comparison swatches if you had your eye on these, but also had other blushes that I will present in case you just wanted to save or see, oh, I don't really need those because I had that in my collection. I also picked up Danessa's Pastel Dream Mini Freedom Palette, but this will have its own video. You could check out the shorts I uploaded showing swatches and a look using Pastel Dream, but stay tuned for a long form video, but just wanted to include this teaser. And if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Alicia. I review makeup, share beauty tutorials, also lifestyle modification videos, helping you with fitness, nutrition, and overall wellness. If any of that content interests you, then make sure you consider liking this video and maybe subscribing. At least watch to the end and decide. The Blurring Balm Powder is a unique product. You see that it looks wet, but it actually dries down to a powder. And again, 5.5 is for medium tan skin with neutral undertones. Definitely better than 6, but 6 wasn't terrible at the same time, if that makes any sense. Urban Decay's Blush Suede in Situationship, the brick terracotta, like you have to be kidding me. The minute I saw this, well, I actually swatched this a few weeks ago. I was like, whoa, not bad. This blush retails for $24, and Urban Decay at the moment is running a 25% off site-wide event. Just wanted to put that out there. And we have the YSL Make Me Blush in Rose Haze, a soft pink nude, which leans on the slightly warmer side. It almost teeters over salmon, and it works out as it doesn't appear ashy on my skin tone, but it has a beautiful light blushed effect on the center of my cheeks. But this is $45. And you could just see the difference in packaging, right? Urban Decay is basically a small plastic compact. The detail is on the actual blush pan, and then you have this. It just takes on the look of a mini clutch, which is the point in YSL. It is a luxury beauty product, and a lot of luxury beauty likes to take inspo from their respective fashion houses in incorporating elements from their fashion archives into their compact designs, and the actual pan has that embossing as well. So there you go. The Urban Decay is made in the USA, and YSL is made in Italy. Let's check out the suggested shelf life. Both 24 months. Yes, we have 2 years with these. Now that we have details and swatches out the way, it's time for you to come in a little closer. Just to mix it up, I'm prepping my skin with Prada Beauty's Augmented Skin Cream. It is a deluxe sample. I will not buy this product, just more so because I have it, and why not using it since it's mine. It has like a gel cream consistency, and funny, Prada Beauty skincare is a little more fragrant than their makeup. I wish it wasn't. However, it doesn't have a strong perfume smell like I experienced from Chanel. Just briefly kind of testing their skincare at the counter, not buying it, not getting a sample of it because I will not be able to handle it. But it's a nice silky consistency, the augmented cream. And you might be wondering, is it wise to prep with this type of product before going in with the Blurring Balm? Because the whole point of the Blurring Balm formula, if you're not familiar with it, is that it contains what's called Upsolite technology that combats excess oil and sweat throughout the day, allowing your skin to appear fresh and not textured or with broken down makeup, right? Where you don't have to necessarily reapply throughout the day, but the actual formula does that on your behalf. You very much could, but it is meant to be a longer lasting makeup product on skin types sitting around the normal to oily part of the spectrum. I sit around normal to dry, although I think the Blurring Balm Powder is flexible with the skin types one decides to use with, right? I think you just have to be careful with the coverage. People have said, Danielle, one of our subscribers, has suggested that you can apply this with a damp sponge, which is a great idea because that will lessen the look of actual makeup on your skin and probably will leave behind more of a natural finish because of the moisture. I can't stand sponges, so that's why I either use my fingers or in this case will use a dense brush. We could do one of two because the lid does come with the spatula, and we can either go straight from the Blurring Balm Powder to skin. You do run the risk of applying a little too much, and I think that's where people run into an issue of it looking too made up and too heavy on the skin. The next approach is to use the spatula, which I'm going to use my pin here to take out. You take some and you warm it up first on the back of your hand or on a separate palette. This allows you to actually warm up the makeup well enough so you can work it into the brush, and therefore you're able to control the level of coverage and how the makeup will appear on your skin. And that's just one side. You can see that the look of my blemishes have been significantly lessened, evening of skin tone and just kind of bringing it all together. I do really like the Blurring Balm for the summertime because it feels lightweight. Again, it helps combat excess oil and sweat, and it doesn't require you to constantly reapply powder throughout the day if you find yourself out and about, and you don't have to constantly freshen up, if you will, or just make sure that the T-zone is not looking greasy. I'm taking a little more and then focusing on this side. 5.5 still gives me a little bit of a tan as well, but probably necessary since we are entering the summer season. Not that I'm going to tan my face. Don't you worry, the SPF and sun hat will be on. However, to match the rest of my body, which even with SPF inevitably will get a little more tan so that it will match my neck and rest of face, I think 5.5 is a fitting shade for that reason. Now, if I wanted more coverage here on my blemishes, I will probably go in with my fingers and rely on the warmth from my fingertips to better work the product on my skin and lessen the risk of picking up too much product with this brush, right? I rely on the larger brush to tackle the entire face to make sure that everything's covered and everything's worked in and blended, but I'll use my finger to address the portions that I would like a little more coverage for, but will control how that application appears. And I think that's pretty good. You can see that my skin appears natural and finished. It doesn't look made up, or I don't think so. You can let me know down below. And also the augmented skin cream is nice, but it's also like $300. Crazy how my perspective completely changed with skincare, and I will film a video dedicated to my experience with skin sobering and what I learned from it and whatnot. All in all, I do not believe the claims that a lot of these luxury beauty and mid-tier beauty and even drugstore beauty skincare claims make, but I do appreciate the texture in that the immediate change the cream creates on my skin so that it creates a cushion cushioned foundation or layer, if you will, for the Blurring Balm Powder. We'll go in with my Burberry concealer in MC, or excuse me, 85 MC. This is, I think, an appropriate shade to pair with Danessa's Blurring Balm in 5.5. It is a little lighter, but not significantly so, where it appears strange under the eyes, too brightening, right? We have left that era of like applying concealer 5 shades lighter than your skin tone. Like, no, not bad at all. Following up with some brows. Now let's take a look at the Rose Haze blush, but first I'll be happy to swatch my other YSL blushes. This is in 37 Peachy Nude, and I did read that Coral Crush is pretty much the lighter version of Peachy Nude, more of like a lighter coral tangerine shade. I also have 87 Pink Voltage, which is a cool, vibrant pink. I think it'll be unique to combine these two, but you can see, even though this is a soft nude pink, how warmer it is compared to Pink Voltage. And you're like, why do you have that shade? I'm like, I was cursed. Number 44 Nude Lavalier is the satin finish, and definitely a little more cool tone, but you can see that beautiful sheen left behind. And yes, just for funsies, 42 is like the lilac. I forgot what it's called, baby doll maybe. I thought it'd be interesting to see how it would appear on my skin tone. It does appear a little ashy if I'm not careful with the application. I have to apply it like right here, nowhere else, so that it could have that brightening effect. I don't use this as often. This was definitely an unnecessary splurge, but it's fine. We're not going to talk about it. And Situationship, again, I already swatched, but this will be featured in an upcoming favorite bronzer video, which I wanted to cap at 10, but I exceeded that. It was hard to end the list, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to include all my favorites. I don't care if we're here all day talking about them. So that's how it went. Now, because Rose Haze is a little lighter for my skin tone, this is where I would use a larger, maybe medium dense brush to pick up more color and be a lot more liberal with the application. And you can see the immediate effect Rose Haze has on a skin tone like mine, where it's soft, it's subdued, and I wouldn't say muted, just overall kind of the barely there blush color that we are in constant pursuit for, trying to look for, in that it doesn't take much, it's effortless, and more importantly, you could screw it up. You don't have to be so careful with this placement because, again, the color is light enough where it can be applied higher, lower, wherever you like on the cheek area. But isn't that beautiful? It just is soft enough for like that quick application, run out the door, looking together with the blush cheeks, okay? But I gotta apply some on the lip. It's bothering me. I've been wearing the heck of the Suku Comfort Lip Fluid Glow in 109 from their winter collection. I don't know what it is about this shade. It's just one of my favorites. That is Rose Haze. Can You Even? I adore this shade, and I could only imagine how beautiful Coral Crush would look. I'm predicting, just based on the photos, it will have more of like a slightly lighter orange hue, maybe mimicking Wild Coral from Givenchy's loose blush lineup. Number 3, that's what I'm predicting. But I do enjoy just the more subdued, soft pink look on my complexion. Pinks can be tricky because they could appear a little too bright and clownish, but this tone right here is a nude pink, but it's almost like a muted salmon color on my complexion. And again, it's just easy to throw on. It is matte, but it appears smooth on the skin, silky on the blend. It's just extraordinary. I could go in with Situationship on one side and now Peachy Nude on the other, because I think Peachy Nude will create just a darling gradient, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta look at Situationship, and this is the type of color that I will have to tread carefully with because it packs a lot more punch than Rose Haze does, and the powder is on the soft side. If you could see that from the pan, using the same brush, yes, living on the edge, lightly tapping and tapping again on my hand just to control the placement. And I love this brush. This is Sonia Sora brush from her Master Tissue Voyage set, where it just hugs my contours perfectly, where I just place it and it goes where it needs to go, as you just saw. But see how the Brick Terracotta hugs the soft pink nude and it naturally creates that gradient, but that toasty look from Situationship is just instant. And this Urban Decay, I mean, I haven't purchased from Urban Decay in years. Their blush suede formula, it's more matte than Haze, because Haze also has suede in their name. I believe it's the Haze Super Suede Blush. That's a dome baked formula with a little bit of sheen. This is a true matte, but with that suede sensibility, texture, and it being incredibly smooth. But this color, I can't get over it. If I wanted to, however, I could, listen, if you want to see that in action, take this closer to the center of the face. Look what it does. It will deliver that toasted sunburnt look, which is, I love. Like, this is summer for me. I'm done. Let's go. But we have to continue and end this demo by applying Peachy Nude, this time same area, into the hollows. Taking the same brush, and again, YSL also a soft powder formula, just kicking off the excess here and nudging it right into the cheekbones, combining it with Rosy Haze. And this is more of like a coral type of the peachiness that's coming through more so than the red. I absolutely love both, okay? I could go in with either, but I am partial to the Situationship side, because when you have that red tone, again, I'm just biased towards that sunburnt look, which don't want to achieve with the real sun, okay? We're just trying to mimic that look with makeup. Although I do admit the Peachy Nude side is beautiful. It gives me a soft heat, not in the same way that Situationship does. And the through line factor is that I have Rose Haze on both sides. Having that softer pink color on the center of my face, I think brings everything together, where it kind of eats up enough color from Peachy Nude and Situationship to create that gradient effect where it doesn't appear choppy. Does that make any sense? There's nice fluidity going on between these shades is what I'm trying to say. And another product I would most definitely use with both the YSL and Urban Decay is, without a doubt, the Benefit Hula Wave Cream Bronzer. This has been in my makeup bag ever since I purchased it. I was not ready for this product because it is like a rosy bronze on me, and it works beautifully well with these, or rather the warmer tones from the swatches. The way it just kind of appears like a veil of cream bronzer on my skin and it doesn't interfere with my blush, it works with them. This has been a phenomenal product. But I do recognize how versatile also Situationship is, Peachy Nude, but Rose Haze I am beyond pleased with. I knew it would work out based on all of your feedback who did manage to get Rose Haze, whether from Selfridges or Harrods, our UK retailer friends, until it was now available in the States. Don't know if I would need Nocturnal Nude. Let me know down below if you are my skin twin and you have all three, Rose Haze, Coral Crush, and Nocturnal Nude. What are the must-haves? I'm leaning more towards Coral Crush than I am Nocturnal Nude, but you can let me know down below. And let me know if you have more shades from the Urban Decay blush suede. The other shades look pretty too. They're super vibrant and punchy. The only other one that I would consider buying, and maybe during the sale, but probably not, is their Mauve Berry. That one appears, just from looking at it, to be like another blondie shade on me. But Situationship, the Brick Terracotta, I mean, there you go. One and done. And the product that kicked off the video, thrilled with 5.5. This will definitely be one of my go-tos for the summer. And if you want to check out a video I filmed outlining my top favorite foundation recommendations for the summer season, I included the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder, but at the time only had number 6. And I thought I had 5, but I couldn't find it, possibly decluttered it. And when I went on the product page and saw that 5.5 was recently added, I was like, wait a minute. An upgrade is upon us. So let me know down below, fam, if you have any of these products or others on your radar. And if you made it this far, consider liking this video by clicking the thumbs up. It helps me tremendously, not only telling the algorithm that I'm worth watching, but will also recommend my videos to other beauty enthusiasts like yourself. And consider subscribing, hit the big red button, and also with the notification bell so you are alerted of new uploads immediately. And if you want to check out that foundation video, my top 5 picks for summer, you could click on that video here. I'll see you in that video down in the comments for this video, and on here again next time.